Could coaching a pro golfer really be more stressful than disarming bombs? Surprisingly, the answer is yes. Here's what you don't know about Jon Rahm. When watching how far Jon Rahm can hit a golf ball, it's surprising how much power he can generate with an unusually short backswing. It turns out this is a result of a physical issue because Rahm was born with a birth defect known as clubfoot that affects the bones and muscles in the leg. At the 2021 Open Championship, he said, "They basically relocated, pretty much broke every bone in the ankle, and I was casted within 20 minutes of being born from the knee down. Every week I had to go back to the hospital to get recasted. So from knee down, my leg didn't grow at the same rate. So I have very limited ankle mobility in my right leg. It's 1.5 centimeters shorter as well." As he grew older and Rahm started to play golf, he realized that this limited mobility in his ankle meant he had to take a unique approach to his swinging motion. He figured out that he could create power and consistency from his short swing. Rahm explained that while a full swing could clearly generate a quicker club speed, doing so would reduce his overall stability to the point that it would be detrimental to his ankle health. Thus, he found the sweet spot in a modified swing with clearly impressive results. While growing up in Spain, Rahm was a carefree boy, according to his father, Jon Rahm. The two would play golf together, but outside of this activity, young Jon seemed to mostly enjoy his time at home. Jon told Andalusia Golf he had his group of school friends, but he didn't go out much, and he came home early. As Jon's exceptional talent in golf continued to grow, he started being noticed, not only in his home country, but abroad. Tim Mickelson, the younger brother of legendary golfer Phil Mickelson, was the head coach of the Arizona State University golf team when Jon was just a teenager in Spain. Without even seeing Jon's skills in person, Tim took a chance on the boy and recruited him to play on the university team. Due to the timing, Jon had to quickly get to work and pass the SATs to be eligible to attend ASU, only a few months after Tim first extended the life-changing offer. After moving to America in such a short turnaround and leaving his family behind, Jon found a connection with his teammates and was grateful for the support from the Mickelson brothers. While at ASU, he also found someone who would become his future family, his wife, Kelly Cahill. The two met at a Halloween party during their first year at the university. In 2013, while he was still at university, Rahm saw his destiny in the most unusual places. On X, formerly known as Twitter, Rahm posted a photo of a fortune cookie that read, "Your talents will be recognized and suitably rewarded." He captioned it with the following, "I am gonna win the Masters." He also tagged his coach at ASU, Tim Mickelson, as proof that this dream would come true. Rahm definitely showed promise that this could happen after winning the Ben Hogan Award for being the best college golf player in the nation 2 years in a row, in 2015 and 2016. Amazingly, 10 years after his post of the fortune cookie, Rahm was wearing the iconic green jacket and holding the Masters Tournament trophy. Fans were quick to point out his impressive prediction, and yet, according to Rahm, this was also news to him. Appearing on Pardon My Take, he said,
"This came up, I don't even remember it."
As he recalled, there was a 2-week period where Rahm ate lunch every day at Panda Express, and he would always look at his fortune cookies. While he said he posted a few other ones too, nothing compares to his Masters prediction. As he was squaring off against fellow college golfers across the country, Rahm had another hurdle to overcome: understanding the local language. While he took some English lessons before relocating from Spain to the West Coast to attend Arizona State University, Rahm confessed that he wasn't exactly confident with his skills in a second language. One of his teammates, Alberto Sanchez, came from Mexico, so Rahm could at least speak Spanish with him. Still, their coach Tim Mickelson encouraged Rahm to practice his English and came up with an effective motivational tool for him to avoid using his native language. Speaking to Golf Digest, Rahm said, "My coach said that for every word of Spanish that I spoke in front of the team, that I had to do a burpee." When the reporter followed up and asked how many total burpees Rahm had to do as punishment, the golfer proudly said he didn't have to do any. To aid in his English education, Rahm also used American rap music, citing both Eminem and Kendrick Lamar as two of his favorite artists. Two specific songs that he says helped him with his English were Swimming Pools by Lamar and Love the Way You Lie by Eminem featuring Rihanna. He told Golf Digest, "I like the music, and it did help with learning slang and how to say certain phrases. It's like if you try to learn Spanish by taking classes. Having a conversation is much different." After winning the 2023 Masters tournament, Rahm dealt with a lot of emotions. Speaking at the press conference after his victory, he said,
"Never thought I was going to cry about winning a golf tournament, but I got very close on that 18th hole."
According to Rahm, much of the emotion came from what it meant to him personally and also for Spanish golf as a whole. As the golfer explained, he kept hearing from the crowd during his final back 9 holes to think about Severiano Ballesteros, the legendary Spanish golfer whose birthday was that day but died in 2011. After taking home the tournament trophy, Rahm said he dedicated the win to Ballesteros. The morning after his victory, in the privacy of his own room, Rahm said the tears finally started. Speaking to the Sunday Times, he said, "I saw this photoshopped picture of me shaking hands with Sevi on the 18th green, and it just hit me. It's because of Sevi's charisma and captaincy at the Ryder Cup that my dad took up golf." While the golfer explained that golf never made him cry before, the fan photo to pair him with Ballesteros was a notable exception. As an elite golfer, Rahm became friends with other athletes at the top of their respective games. He is close with NFL tight end Zach Ertz, who tuned in to watch as Rahm started his round at the 2023 Masters Tournament. In a group chat between Rahm, Ertz, and retired NFL defensive lineman J.J. Watt, Ertz sarcastically wrote about the intimidating course. According to what Rahm told ESPN, Ertz posted the cheeky remark, "First hole green looks like a walk in the park." Rahm said this is only a sample of the kinds of texts the guys share. He explained the athletes talk about competing, of course, but also about their personal lives and families. The morning after winning the Masters, Rahm said he went into the group chat to proudly show off his green jacket reserved for winners of the golf tournament. Rahm told GQ, "I put it on just to send them one of me being funny in it," and then made that the profile picture of the chat. In addition to the football players, Rahm also became friends with former competitive swimmer Michael Phelps. He told ESPN that it's great to keep an open dialogue with these exceptional sports people, since they paved the way and showed him what is the standard he needs to maintain. Another top athlete with Rahm's phone number is fellow countryman Rafael Nadal, who left the golfer a congratulatory voice message after he won the Masters.
When you're creating that kind of reaction, it's a good thing because clearly people see the potential you have.
On a golf course, Jon Rahm became known as much for his skill with clubs as his occasional outbursts and offensive language while playing. While passionate about his sport, Rahm also realized he needed to work to control his ire. Speaking to the Sunday Times, he said, "I think a lot of people used to only see a player that got angry. I was a 21-year-old in the top 10, and it was a level of stardom you don't usually get. It took a lot of learning on my part, no doubt, and that manifested itself on the golf course." It was a big life moment, becoming a father for the first time, that changed the trajectory for Rahm. According to the golfer, fatherhood made him a more mature man, and as a result, he entered the 2023 Masters Tournament in better control of his temper and was able to walk away victorious. Looking deeper into the reasons for his emotional flare-ups, Rahm confessed that he is deeply competitive at his core and loves to win. Speaking to Golf Digest, he said, "So I'm very demanding, and with that, the emotion just comes out of me. But a lot of it was immaturity too." As Rahm discovered, he could be self-critical, but had to remain polite towards his competitors. So he explained how he trained himself to say a kind word to a rival when they defeated him, rather than be sour about the loss. Though basketball and golf are about as different as possible in terms of sports, Rahm looked up to the late NBA legend Kobe Bryant for inspiration. While a student athlete at Arizona State University, Rahm first began to admire Bryant for his skills and work ethic. Speaking to ESPN about Bryant, Rahm said,
"The way he approached his lifestyle and his craft really spoke to me."
In 2020, while playing golf, Rahm recalled how his wife came to tell him that Bryant had died. He explained how he was set for a chat with Bryant 2 days later in Orange County to meet up with him for the first time. As the golfer explained to ESPN, he wanted to learn secrets from Bryant on how he performed so well, but even more, to learn tips from one dad to another. He said, "I honestly wanted to ask Kobe, how the heck did he practice the way he did and still have the impact he had as a father with his daughters?" According to Rahm, he also asked a similar question to Tiger Woods, but Woods' response of saying he didn't sleep seemed like an infeasible approach to Rahm. By now, it should be clear that Jon Rahm is an impressive force on a golf course, but he also is impressive in his philanthropic efforts. In 2021, Rahm was ranked #1 in the world and signed a US Open flag that he donated to the Kisner Foundation for a charity auction. The foundation is one of several children's charities with which Rahm has been involved. As part of the winning team at the 2020 Memorial Tournament, Rahm helped support the NICU at the Nationwide Children's Hospital. Rahm continued his worldwide support by helping the Mexican Red Cross Association after devastating earthquakes in the country in 2018. While playing in the World Golf Championship in Mexico, he pledged to donate $1,000 per birdie and $3,000 every time he scored an eagle at the championship. Knowing there is more needed than raw talent to perform as a professional athlete, Jon Rahm sought help to improve his mental game. He hired a personal coach named Joseba del Carmen, who was a former college basketball player in Spain as well as a golf instructor. Most interestingly, Carmen was also an expert at disposing of bombs, though he admitted that working with the golfer was oftentimes a more stressful job. Speaking to Sunsport, Carmen said, "I feel more pressure when Jon is playing than disarming bombs. I can see moments where Jon is suffering and worry about him." With his varied experiences, Carmen said he helped Rahm better manage his emotions while still understanding that these same emotions in the golfer were also partly responsible for his success on the Pro Tour. As Carmen explained, Rahm should not bottle up the emotions, but he needs to understand how to release them effectively. Rahm also started seeing a sports psychiatrist named Dr. Brett McCabe. After Rahm won the US Open, he invited McCabe to his party to celebrate and also asked the doctor for advice on what to do next. The psychiatrist simply told the golfer to get back to work. Also at the party was Michael Phelps, and when Rahm told the Olympian about his doctor's response, Phelps was completely in agreement. Before scoring birdies and sinking putts, Jon Rahm started his childhood by taking Kung Fu. While growing up in Spain, he became inspired by watching his mom take Tai Chi lessons. Rahm recalled getting into fights when he was younger, so his mom encouraged him to pick up martial arts and learn self-defense. In the end, he picked up many valuable lessons from the practice, which continued into his career later in life. Speaking to Golf Digest, he said, "Learning Kung Fu helped, and from that, I learned all the aspects of martial arts. But mostly it's about trying to be respectful to people, and that carries over to golf." Rahm started playing tennis later in life after his wife Kelly Cahill introduced him to the game. Fortunately, the sport came easily to the golfer, who used to play other racket and paddle games in his younger days. As a kid, Rahm played Basque Pelota, which is a racket sport from his region in Spain. The sport is a mixture of racquetball and high alai, and was even a demonstration sport at the 1992 Olympic Games in Barcelona. Rahm never told Cahill he used to play. He said, "She came away impressed and maybe a little mad for a day or two. She was someone who thought golfers aren't athletes, so she assumed I couldn't do anything else, really." Jon Rahm and his wife Kelly Cahill had their first child together, a son named Kepa, in April 2021. After the baby's birth, Rahm posted a photo on Instagram of his new family and wrote in the caption, "Without a doubt, the greatest day of my life."
Now I have a son, somebody who's dependent on me, who's going to learn a lot of things from me.
A few days after Kepa came into the world, Rahm was right back on the golf course as a participant in the Masters tournament, where he tied for 5th place. It was only about 2 months later when Rahm won the US Open with his wife and son there to celebrate the victory. Rahm posted a photo on Instagram of him holding the trophy in one hand while kissing his newborn. He wrote the following caption, "To win my first major on my first Father's Day at a place that means so much to me like Torrey is simply unbelievable. If this is a dream, I still haven't woken up yet." After following up his US Open win by playing in the Ryder Cup, Rahm had finally reached a point where he had to choose between spending time at home versus time on the golf course. Ultimately, he decided to take some months off from the tour. Speaking to NBC Sports, he spoke about his decision. He said, "I needed a break, not only for me, but also for my family. We all endured it together, and I just wanted the time to be a dad and be a husband and just be there for my wife and my son." For a player who has reached the top of the golfing world in rankings, it's no surprise that Jon Rahm has enjoyed some of the perks that come with winning, including big paychecks. For example, he bought a $1 million home in Arizona and bought his first car, a red Porsche, in 2016, after officially going pro in golf. Speaking about his luxury purchase to the Golf Digest podcast, he said, "I'm not sure how much my parents like it." Yet, as he explained it, the car was way more than just a status symbol and acted as a reminder of his achievements. As his success continued, Rahm expanded his car collection with a Mercedes AMG SUV, which typically cost well into six figures. The maroon paint also perfectly matched the color of his alma mater, Arizona State. The golfer was then sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, which he loved even more as a self-professed motorhead. Speaking to golf, he said, "I'm 23. You kind of need to be a car guy when you're 23." Rahm also has the money to be a car guy. As of January 2024, he has already earned around $51 million in winnings from his professional golf career. This put him at number 14 on the list of lifetime earners on the PGA Tour. This doesn't even include the 16 million euros he won on the European DP World Tour.